Yogis, welcome to your Maya flow today, a practice that has you feeling the silk of Santosha. To begin stepping into that silky feel, if you have an oil that you like to work with that's a really silky, soft, feminine feel today, and then take that and pop a drop or two in the left palm, rub the palms together and begin inhaling some of the beautiful aromas of your essential oils, inviting the senses to aliven and to awaken, but more importantly, or most importantly, when you bring your awareness and your attention to any one sense, and whether that be smell, or maybe it's sight, like the sight of, for me, the geranium. It brings that attention to the present moment and takes it out of the egoic mind, out of the stressy head, the chittavritti, the mental chatter. And when you see those geraniums, and if you have geraniums or you've seen them, you'll know what I'm talking about. They really do take your attention. They're so bright and colourful and uplifting, and there's so many different shades. It's hard not to shift out and draw in. And with Santosha, the nayama that we're working with today, now nayamas are our observances. They're a path to guide us, and some would even see them as rules to allow you to be led on the way, the right path and truthfulness. Your Santosha is a Sanskrit word, and it's broken down or derived from two pieces. And so that first piece is the Sam and the second is the Tosha. And although the Sanskrit word is San with an N, Santosha, it's derived from Sam. And Sam is that completely, entirely, all together. And so with the geraniums, if you have a look at them with one stem, there's a bunch all really quite clumped together, grouped together, and it's many little flowers, and they are Sam. They are completely, entirely, and all together upon that one branch. And then the Tosha is that contentment, that satisfaction, that sense of satisfaction. It's acceptance, and it's a sensation of comfort. It's being comfortable. And so today in our flow, we are going to become comfortable and release the extreme focus, need, and egoic mind from our flow without any props. There's no need to drop deeply into any of the postures. We're simply going to slide along our mat and work our way through our flow today with that sensation of a silkiness. Everything nice and light and soft and in a surrendered state, in a state of contentment, in a state of Santosha, feeling into the silk of Santosha. And yogis, as we find our way today to the top of our mat, we're beginning our flow standing. So make your way and clear your space, setting up your mat, removing any of those props you may have prepared, and take the feet shoulder width apart, and take a gentle little sway side to side, rocking into each foot and sensing each of the four corners of your feet, and spreading the toes nice and wide and making sure each one is connected to the mat today. And take a gentle rock and roll now from the front body and the back body. And I want you to close down your eyes here and already begin to tap into that sensation of silk. A piece of silk slung from the ceiling. You become. And feel that gentle flow and that weave. And being able to shift and being able to connect to that beautiful fluid state, happy, content, and feeling blessed in all areas, all points, all corners of your 4 feet, 4 corners of your feet, maybe even taking a gentle circular motion now. With that sensation of silk amongst your Tadasana, let's settle in, extend the fingertips, take a roll of the shoulders. We're going to take the hands high and wide today. As you inhale, allow it to feel good, reaching for the sky. And take the hands into prayer. And we'll reverse swan dive, swanning just like silk as you fall down. Taking a sweep of the hands. Inhale like silk rise. Exhale, we fold, we fall. Inhale to rise, feeling a softening of the spine, as you float through a few more rounds here, feeling into the rise and the fall of your breath. And focusing that inhale and the exhale, both in and out of the nostrils. Welcoming in that sensation of silk through each part of our flow today. And here especially, I want you to fold and fall and feel into a softness through the spine, the arms, soft knees, ankles. No need to hold the body strong, firm, contracted. We simply float. And maybe floating through and flowing with the arms, softening the fingers, reaching overhead, finding a cross. Next couple of rounds as you reach to rise, rather than prayer, take a soft bend at the elbows. Once more, inhale, rise, soft bend at the elbows to drape. And this time as you inhale, take a pause here. And with the arms crossed, we're going to run the arms in that cross up the lengths of the legs, rounding out the spine. And taking it overhead as if you're removing your jumper, removing your layers. And switch that cross as you flow and float. So if you had the right arm on top, left arm now on top, inhale, slowly unravel the spine. Removing the koshas, removing the layers. Exhale, fold and fall. We'll take that twice more, switching the arms. Opposite side on top. And final time as you float, opposing arm. Exhale, slowly melting down. And fingertips to the mat for a moment and coming back into the balanced state for the feet. Take a walk up to the shins. Hands and palms to connect, and we'll inhale and halfway lift. First time our hamstrings have found length. So still be kind, gentle and soft in the knees, but find the hamstrings a little longer. From here, our ripple through the spine exhales us and draws us into a deeper bend, allowing the belly to connect to the thighs, the rib cage to connect to the thighs. And take the hands to the backs of the calves. And draw to the shins, inhale, halfway lift. Finding the legs long and straight. Exhale, fold it down, rotating hands, backs of the calves. Once more, we inhale halfway. And this time as you exhale, take the hands to the backs of the calves and find a deep bend. We plant the hands on the mat, sink the hips nice and low, and we'll step it back with the left, finding a lunge all the way to the back of the mat. And drop that left knee. Untuck the toe. And walk that right hand inside the right foot, allowing the knee to fold out or fall out as you soften through the hips. And taking a little sway here now, side to side through the pelvis. Feeling into the feminine nature of this flow, releasing the front of the hip. As if rocking a baby. And that mothering energy within you. And settle into stillness. Hands to frame that right foot. Release the toe. Step it in. Let's unravel. This time the left arm's on top. Inhale, draw to rise, releasing your jumper. Take it overhead. Exhale, fold and fall. Hands to the shins, halfway lift. Deep bend in the knees, hands to the calves. Exhale, fold your Uttanasana. Deep bend in the knees, sink it low. Right foot steps back. And sink it deeply into the pelvis and then drop that back knee. Left hand inside that left foot, maybe heel toeing out to give yourself a little bit more space. And then allow that left knee to release. A gentle little sway here. Mother energy. And just like you rock a baby naturally, instinctively, offering that beautiful loving care, contentment. Left hand outside left foot, release the back foot, step it in. Right arm on top, inhale, unravel and rise. Exhale, fold and fall. Hands to the shins, we halfway lift. And find that long spine, and then exhale, ripple down. Hands to the backs of the calves, hanging the head heavy. And this time as you plant the hands on the mat and we sink the hips nice and low, we're going to step it back with both legs and finding our plank position and dropping the knees. Hips staying nice and high here. We're going to come straight into our 8-point plank, bringing some warmth into the shoulders and the upper body. Taking a bend in the elbows and inviting them back towards the hips as you slowly take the chest, the chin, down to the mat. Inhale, ripple through center. We find our baby cobra. So beautiful. Your baby cobra takes you all the way back today to your balasana. Nice long arms melting down, forehead meets the mat. Your balasana, your child's pose, your home base at any time throughout your flow today. Feel free to come back to this posture, skip a flow, skip a vinyasa, and just feel into the silkiness and the softness of surrender upon your mat today. And let's inhale, rise. And tabletop your transition, tuck the toes, find a plank pose. We're going to take a bend in the knees, drawing back, and bunny hop it straight up today, top of the mat, and finding that unraveling. Left arm on top, inhale, rise. Extend, blossom and bloom just like those geraniums. We float and fall. Hands to the shins. Behind the calves, fold it down. Hands to plant, halfway lift. Left leg steps back. Dropping down into that left knee. Right hand inside the right foot. And this time as you release that back toe, you're going to take the load into the left hand and find that right arm reaching overhead as if following the rising sun. We take it all the way to the back of the room, drawing that left hip down and softening into a seat on the side of the hip. Inhale, rise. Right hand plants outside the right foot. Release the toe to rise. Step it back and drop the knees. Your 8-point plank, we lower. Inhale, your ripple. Draw it back, your balasana, just the one breath this time. Inhale, tabletop, tuck the toes, our plank pose. And soft knees and bounce it onto the top of the mat. Right arm on top, we unravel, ripple to rise. I'm feeling the blossoming nature of your flow today. Swan dive. Hands to shins. Backs of the calves. Fingertips to the mat, halfway lift, right foot steps back. And sink the hips low. We drop into that knee, left arm inside that left foot. Right hand plants. We inhale and rise, sending it overhead. That beautiful big cycle. And as you send it to the back of the room, we're allowing that knee to release out to the side as you sink into that right hip, feeling a really beautiful surrendering release through the hip. And that sensation of Santosha. Feeling satisfaction. Inhale, rise. Hand outside the left. Draw it to rise. Step it back. Inhale. Drop the knees. 8-point plank, we lower. Inhale, ripple. And set it back. Yogis, your one breath here. Know that you have the basis and the foundation of your flow set up here. Bring a smile to the face and a sense of satisfaction, knowing that we're removing any complex natures today. Inhale, ripple to rise. Now let's make it feel like silk. And draw it back. Let's hop at top of the mat. Left arm on top, we unravel. Exhale. Hands to shins. Exhale it to the calf. Hands to the mat, deep bend, left leg steps back. Drop the knee. Right hand releases overhead. Deep release through the outer hip. Inhale, rise. Straight in, that release of the knee, step it back. And we'll take one more round with our 8-point plank as we're warming up the shoulders, the upper body. Ripple through center. Draw it back, your balasana, your one breath here. Inhale, rise. And tuck those toes, plank pose. Hips draw back to heels. Soft hop, top of the mat, right hand leads, unravel. Exhale, fold. Hands to shins. Exhale, backs of the calves. And fingertips to the mat, sink the hips, right foot steps back. Knee connects, untuck the toe, left arm reaches overhead. And find that release, that surrendering, that silky sense in the hip. Release the knee, step it back. One final time here in your 8-point plank. Ripple through center. One breath, your exhale, draw it back. Balasana. Inhale. Yogis, one more time through our beautiful foundational flow today. Left arm leads. Inhale and rise. Exhale, fold and fall. Really closing down the eyes if you can here. And trust yourself. And see if you can settle into the sensations as you sink and float. Blossom, fold and fall too. And when we feel into the beautiful fluid nature of a flow like today, maybe taking a full chaturanga here and welcoming a little more space out of your baby cobra. And you have one final side. Right arm leads. Exhale, release it all. When your senses are drawn and you can focus on the feeling body. Halfway lift, sink the hips, right foot steps back. It takes you out of the egoic mind, out of that mental chatter. And the only thing that consumes the space is a beautiful, blissful happiness. A sensation of content, nature. A sensation of Santosha. And draw it back, your balasana. And yogi, stay here 3 breaths. Releasing those breaths out of the mouth. And as you stay here for one more breath, I have a little quote that we're playing with today. A deeper happiness is gained when the practitioner is content. The Yoga Sutras of Patanjali. A deeper happiness is gained when the practitioner is content. Not looking to get deep into the postures today, we're looking to get deep into a sensation of contentment and happiness. Slowly unravel the spine, walk your way up and join me in a hero's pose at the back of the mat. Yogis, we're going to build a couple more postures into our flow today. And with each of them, don't overthink them. Really feel into that fluidity and picture those beautiful, bright, luscious geraniums blossoming, blooming, all working together synergistically, completely, entirely, all together. And that contentment and that satisfaction. Hands to the mat. We're going to tuck the toes and take the heels to the mat. Short little down dog. As you now slowly find a walk of the hands all the way to the back of the mat. Our unraveling and our undressing of these layers, the mayas, the illusions. We're going to be taking now from the back of the mat and inviting a little walk up the length. We'll start with that left arm on top as you cross the arms, drawing left arm on top to ripple through the spine and draw to rise. Inhale. And slowly releasing those layers as you fold and fall. And this time as your hands meet the mat, we're taking our shins, inhale, halfway lift. Hands to the backs of the calves and fold the head down nice and low. And that deep sinking of the pelvis, you're now going to release the backs of the calves and take a sweeping of the mat and draw into our yogic seat, our Utkatasana now. Now sweep draws you to extend out on about a 45-degree angle from the hip all the way through to the lengths of the fingertips. We'll take 3 breaths here for this first round. Inhale, back it off a little, and then exhale, sink in. Now, the challenge for today is to not overthink this and not feel as though you want to run and hide, or likewise step into the ego frustrated, knowing that you can hold this out, the time, the posture, the strength. Simply soften and surrender. We wash it off, fold fingertips to the sky. Inhale, rise, long body, gentle back bend. Twice more like this. Exhale, float and fall. Inhale, rise. Exhale, release. And fingertips sweep the mat. And we take our walk all the way out, your plank pose. Inhale. 3-leg dog. Left toes to the sky. And so beautiful. And tiger curl, left knee through center and just find a hover. Inhale, take it to the sky. Listening to your hips and feeling what feels good for you. And maybe that's a scorpion floating for the second time. Inhale, rise. Your third time as you draw through, we're planting that foot in the center. And now rather than drop the knee, we're going to stay nice and high and take that same ripple we found earlier. Left arm reaches overhead and fold it all the way out and find your little sink and surrender into your seat. Inhale, rebound. And this time as you reach overhead, we're going to slink it on just like silk to the back of the mat and feel into a Skandasana. Inhale, slink it on back, top of the mat. And frame that left foot. Step it back and take your flow. Exhale, we lower. Inhale, we rise, Cobra. And draw it back, your Balasana. Beautiful. And from your Balasana, we're stroking the mat, drawing it back to find your hero pose. And take a roll of the shoulders. Hands to plant on the mat. Tuck the toes. Hips to the sky. Forward fold. Right arm on top, we rise. Unravel, release the layers. Exhale, float. Hands to the shins, halfway lift. Exhale, fold it down, hands to the backs of the calves. Now as we release the calves, checking in that those feet are already shoulder width apart. We're finding that yogic seat, our Utkatasana. And final time for these 3 breaths as you draw to rise and find that 45-degree angle. Exhale to practice that sinking and surrendering. We inhale and back it off just a little. Exhale. Like dipping your toe in the water. Inhale, draw to rise. We're testing out the waters, testing out the sensation of Santosha. Inhale, back, bend, release. Exhale, wash it all off, hands overhead. Inhale, we rise. Soft through the knees at all times, soft through the spine. Exhale, second time. Let's take that once more. Exhale your surrender, hands out the back to float. And take your walk. Slowly slink it on to the top of the mat, plank pose. Take a breath. Exhale, hips to the sky, settle into your down dog just for a moment as you allow that left heel to sink and right toes now reach to the sky. Now remember, not so concerned about alignment today, so if it feels good to open the hip, do that. If it feels good to take scorpion, do that. Listen to your body. We're floating 3 times. And tiger curl, knee through center to float. Inhale, open the hips. Exhale, float. Inhale, rise, third and final time. And let's plant that foot between the hands, staying high in that back knee, or drop if you need. Right hand now reaches overhead, and as we do, we roll to the outer blades of both feet and take it to the back of the room, and sinking in and surrendering into that left hip. Inhale, sweep it overhead, and this time as you do, we're sliding it on like silk, staying low back of the mat to your Skandasana on the left. Slide it on back, top of the mat. Left hand to plant, right hand to plant. Step it back, chaturanga. Inhale, rise, your cobra. Still soft in those elbows. Balasana. So beautiful. Yogi, slide it on back. Your hero's pose. We have 3 rounds in total. First round complete, 2 more postures to add to this playfulness. Let's take a roll of the shoulders. And find our hands on the mat. Tuck the toes, hips to the sky. Walk it on back, left arm leads. Your Mayas, the Koshas, releasing the layers. And fold and fall. Hands to the shins halfway. To the calves, exhale. And fingertips stroking the mat. This time your Utkatasana. Just the once, 1 breath. Inhale, just the single back bend. Exhale, send it on back and find your diver's pose. Full expression now as you draw into the toes. 1 breath. So beautiful. Heels to sink, we stroke the mat and take that walk. And plank pose. Rippling hips to the sky, your down dog. Left toes for the reach. Your tiger curl. Staying with your breath, inhale and open the hip. Exhale, float it through center. Inhale and open. Exhale, plant that left foot straight up, releasing that left hand. Outer blades, both feet, take it to the back of the mat. Inhale, overhead, slinking on nice and low back of the mat, your Skandasana. And slide it on back, top of the mat. Let's frame that left foot, step it back and wash it off. Your flow. Balasana. Slide it to the back. Straight in right side, yogis. Hands to the mat, tuck the toes. Hips to the sky. Right arm on top, unravel and rise. Exhale, fall, float. Hands to the shins, halfway lift. Exhale, hands to calves. Sweep it down the calves. Find your Utkatasana, one breath. Exhale, sink in. Inhale, rise, gentle back bend. And float it forwards and wash it off your full divers up into the toes. Nice and soft into the knees. Stay one full breath. Exhale, release, sliding the length of the mat and taking your walk. And plank pose, one breath. Ripple to your down dog. Right toes for the reach. And floating on through 3 times in your tiger curl. Inhale, we rise. Exhale through center. Feeling the silkiness of not one posture at a time, but the fluidity as we float through and feel the togetherness. Right foot plants between the hands. Right hand rebounds straight up here overhead. Outer blade of both feet as you sink into your seat. Inhale, reach to rise and take your fluid, silky walk. Nice and low back of the mat, your Skandasana. Inhale, take it top of the mat. And framing right foot, step it back in Chaturanga. Inhale, rise. Exhale, sink it back. And we slide. When we feel into that fluidity and we find that yoking and that yoga between the postures, roll your shoulders. Instead of one single flower, one single posture that you hold, that you focus on, we melt them together. And the pressure's not on any one individual petal or flower. You become a collective blossoming. Let's take hips to the sky. You have one more addition. Your third and final addition here. Left arm leads. Let's remove the layers. Inhale, rise. Exhale. Hands to the shins, halfway lift. Exhale, fold it down, hands to the backs of the calves. Our Utkatasana. We sweep, inhale. Exhale, sink it down. Your seat. Inhale, rise, back bend. Exhale, float it through and feel into that silky fluidity as you find your divers, one breath. Exhale, feeling into that silky walk, top of the mat. A breath here and find a ripple to your down dog. Left toes to rise, your 3-leg. Draw it through center and we'll add in our extra posture now. As you inhale and open and feel into that full scorpion. And that left knee reaches to the sky. We're going to square it off and draw it back through second time. Inhale and open, and this time as you open, you're going to allow that left foot to meet halfway on the mat and feel into a beautiful big wild thing. Your wild flower blossoming, blooming from your heart space. Let's take it back, top of the mat. And that left foot steps all the way to the top and left hand rises overhead. Sink into your seat. And we rebound. Your Skandasana, take your slide. Top of the mat. And step it back. Exhale, we lower. Inhale. Oh, yogi, so beautiful. And can you feel the surrender? Take a roll of the shoulders. Let's take that to the right side. Hands to the mat, tuck the toes, hips to the sky. Right arm to lead as you unravel, undress. Exhale, fold and fold. Hands to shins, halfway lift. Exhale, melt. Utkatasana, we sweep one breath. Exhale. Inhale, rise. Exhale, fluid, silky transition to your divers. Inhale, walk at top of the mat. One breath, ripple down dog, right toes to the sky. This time opening it up and feeling into your scorpion. Knee through center. Inhale, rise. Right knee leads. Exhale, your float. Inhale, rise, open, stay in your scorpion or find your foot halfway on the mat. And open right side of heart. You beautiful wild thing, exposing right side of heart. And as you ripple back, that right hand meets the mat, right foot all the way back between the hands, and the right hand continues overhead. And that rising and setting sun, feeling into your skandasana as you take it silky, back of the mat, top of the mat, step it back, and take your flow. Inhale. Exhale, set it up, back of the mat, your balasana. Yogis, you have found your way right through your entire flow today. Do you feel content? Do you feel at peace? Or is there a desire within you, now that you know where you're going, to really surrender into this, to feel completely, altogether and in entirely collective, and to feel into that acceptance and that satisfaction? Let's take this one more time. Hands to the mat, tuck the toes, no more surprises here. And don't overthink it, you know where you're going. Left hand leads. Exhale. Halfway. Exhale, fall. Utkatasana, one breath. Exhale, your seat. Inhale, back bend. Wash it off, divers. And take your walk. Down dog, left toes to the sky. Knee through center. Inhale, open and find that scorpion. Exhale, float. Inhale, open all the way now. Left foot to the mat, your wild thing. No force, no push, no ego. Left foot top of the mat, and that left arm spirals overhead. Exhale, sink into your seat. Inhale, rise. Skandasana, back of the mat. And feel into that silkiness as you step it on back and take your flow. Inhale. Exhale, just as your breath is not forced. There's a sense of contentment there too. You have one final side, and I invite you to really feel into this full fluidity of your flow today. Your right side, right arm in front, inhale, rise. And the silkiness of Santosha feels so blissful when there's no want, no need, the release of desire. You become the desire. You become more desirable when you desire for less. Exhale, divers for the sweep. And take your walk up the mat. Hips to the sky for the ripple. Right heel to rise. Float it on through 3 times. And inhale and open. Your scorpion. Exhale, float second time. Inhale, open. And plant that foot. Wild thing. And as your right hand meets the mat and you draw through for that tiger curl. Third and final time we plant the foot. Right hand reaches overhead. Sink into your seat. Inhale. Slink it on back of the mat, your Skandasana. Inhale, slide it to the top, your final flow. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale, back your Balasana. Yogi staying in that Balasana or taking in the backs of the hands beside the feet. Knowing you have given it all you have got. Feel content here. Sense that silky satisfaction. Feel that stimulation on the heart. Feel into the feeling body. And bring a smile to the face. And you have found your Santosha. Yogi, slowly draw back to your hero's pose, your seat. We're going to find a couple of little counters and release here. And from your hero pose, we'll take our tabletop position and find a release of that left calf, finding at runner's lunge. And drawing that heel back towards the mat. Releasing that right knee and finding a single leg down dog. Beautiful big release for that calf. We're going to draw that right knee through center now. And settling in for a sleeping swan today. Maybe finding some fluidity and flow here before you find a complete surrender. And then take a walk. And forehead maybe to rest upon the mat or your hands. And so easy to get caught in the trap of feeling like you're not enough, feeling like you have enough, wanting and needing more. And children are the best examples of this. And they're usually most happy with the simplest of things. And it's not about extra toys, clothes, the gifts, the presents, all the things they want for, all they're seeking is happiness. Let's take a walk up from your sleeping swan and roll out onto that right hip and take your walk all the way over, taking just any little adjustments that you need to find your seat. That left leg extended. We're going to find a side body release here. As you run your left arm the length of your left leg, no need to reach for the toes or the outer blade, just settle in wherever your hands meet. Right arm overhead. And then settle in, softening into that left elbow, and you might find you can slide it on into rested upon the mat, hanging the hand heavy, the arm heavy, and the head heavy too. Let's inhale to rise. One of my most favorite releases here for counters. Right hand meets the mat. We're going to find our Parigasana as we take a sweep of the left hand, roll over that right shin, using that as support, and draw left arm to reach to that back corner of the room. Beautiful long line here from left toes to left fingertips. Exhale, find your seat. And then hands back to plant. We're going to roll over that back leg, draw back into the toes and set it back up, plank pose. Releasing back to tabletop and find a release now of that right heel. Left knee leaves the mat and draw it back into a beautiful big calf release, that down dog position and that posture just with the right. It's going to be a deep, deep release in the calf, so take it slow and then ripple back through Your sleeping swan on the left may be finding some fluidity for the left hip before you release all the way down into your sleeping swan. And as you find yourself surrendering into your swan, we come back to our quote from earlier. A deeper happiness is gained when the practitioner is content. Noticing how you felt before class, noticing how you feel now, and feeling into that deep, deep happiness, content. Knowing you have honored your practice, your body, your being, and the layers today. And gently draw to rise, and we'll roll it over to find that seat. Right leg now running the length of the mat, and allow the right arm to slide on down. Elbow releases inside, inhale overhead. Beautiful big side body stretch here for the left, hanging the head heavy, hand heavy. And let's inhale to rise. Left hand now plants, and as you take that circle and cycle rolling over the left shin, we find those nice long diagonal lines now from the right fingertips into the right toes. Exhale your seat and hand plants rolling over and tucking those right toes. We'll step it back with the left, find plank and drop the knees. And then slowly allow your belly to meet the mat. Yogis, you are home. Roll it on over and settle in with your back body completely supported. If you like to stay nice and warm here, reach for a blanket, your jumper. Heels nice and wide. Take a few fidgets as you need to connect to the feeling body beneath you, the sensations beneath you, the support beneath you. But then with the next breath you take, wherever you are, whatever your positioning, your placement upon the mat, deep inhale. Feel that expansion in the lungs. And as you open your mouth and exhale, I ask you to draw a smile to the face and feel content in this moment. Not wanting or needing for anything, or out of or off the four corners of your mat, right here, right now. You have all you could ever want and need. And as you rest in your savasana, and if you are blessed with time today, please hit pause and stay for as long as you possibly can. Yogi, slowly welcoming your physical body back in your space. And finding a gentle movement, some motion in your fingers and in your toes. And coming back to that subtle smile. And take a roll to your favorite side with the eyes closed down as you find your way back to your seat. And Santosha is feeling content. And Santosha is feeling grateful for everything that you have, But it's also about feeling grateful about the things you do not have, realizing that you do not need them. We can get so easily caught in the trap of wanton telling ourselves what we need, when all we really need is within us. And yogis, from your seat, draw your hands into prayer at your heart center. Take an inhale to ground the sit bones and find the spine tall, long and strong. And as you extend your crown to your connection, we bow the head humbly and turning the attention inwards and saying to yourself, speaking the words of Santosha to your center, I am content. I am grateful for what I have. And I am grateful for what I do not have. And the yogis inhale, rising, the head gently blinking open, the eyes to gaze at everything you do have and smile. That silky sense of Santosha and that contentment. And yogis, thank you so much for sharing your Silk of Santosha with me today. Namaste.